Hey, what is up, Faithbox family? I'm Maggie, and we are on day 12 of our Everyday Faith this month on the theme of resilience. And today's Everyday Faith comes from a scripture, which is Esther 4:14, and it says, "If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this." And the devotional here today says, "These were the words spoken to Esther by Mordecai. When Esther was put in a position to save her people, the Jews, because the king of Persia chose her as his queen, she was faced with a choice to stand up for the Jews at the risk of endangering her own life. Mordecai challenged her to do what was right, because perhaps this is exactly what she was made to do. When we turn to face difficulties despite our fear, it might just be our resilience that puts us directly in line with God's call on our lives. Queen Esther chose to do what was right in God's eyes, and she executed resilience to carry out his plan. Because God was for her, she emerged victorious, and you can too. Remember, never underestimate the power of staying resilient." I love this story of Esther, especially this verse, because it is just such an awesome story for us to read and understand and know that this sometimes is exactly what happens with us. That when we face these obstacles and challenges in our lives, that this could honestly be God's way of showing and revealing to us what our purpose is, and because we're able in those situations to make that choice, to decide what is important to us and decide what we will actually do and the extent we will go to follow God's call on our lives and fully live out our purpose. So I love this story of Esther. If you have time to read the whole rest of the story, it's an incredible and inspiring story, and Esther is just such an awesome role model that we can follow in what it means to stand up for what is right, even when it means that you also have to be resilient in doing so. And remember here today, never underestimate the power of being and staying resilient. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next day of Everyday Faith.